Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chart Guys, checking in on the solar sector and NEE. One Wintecker. Okay, so big red day today in the market. Tan was not able to avoid the weakness and now has confirmed, has set the daily lower high and confirmed the daily downtrend in one day. Elevator down, so they say. However, the bears have not yet seen a lot of follow through with it. So and the 2060 MA is still holding, and now that the weekly consolidation has begun, we will be looking for a weekly higher low. Anything over 64.48 will be one. Gonna mark this off right now. See where we might get perhaps 4-hour oversold, right around there. I don't hate that. So I'm just gonna draft this up for a potential weekly higher low play. Should we see lower? Not saying we will see lower. I don't know what's going to happen, but if we do see lower, I will be looking for something like that. Very rough idea for now. The 4-hour oversold conditions are my minimum requirement for regarding exhaustion, at least when looking for a weekly higher low. Ideally we'll get daily, but 4-hour will be good enough to start looking. I mean. Okay, so bear break, no follow through. It's straight up into a bounce, but you know there was the day ended, so who knows what tomorrow will bring. Let's see how the day ended. Obviously, we were looking for that daily lower high. We did not quite get to the levels where I would have been more comfortable scaling in. Looking back, you know, using these lows as a level, yeah, we could have done that, but I just prefer to be more conservative when shorting, especially shorting blue sky bulls. Okay, so we will still be watching this level of resistance. Obviously, it's all-time high resistance. No hourly bounce today whatsoever, so tomorrow we will be looking for that hourly lower high. Although if we start looking for that lower high after seeing just no bear follow through, it's a bit of a red flag for bears. So just a word of caution. Ideally, what will happen tomorrow is bears, if you're looking short, I mean, is bears will push down a bit more, get some more follow through against that, and then they'll come up and set an hourly lower high. Anything under 84.58 will be one. Find that for now. All right, so tomorrow, if you are looking short, I don't hate this area, right? We'll be looking for a bunch of confluence here. Just want to make sure the 5-minute gets overbought around there. We'll just move that right on over, and it would be. Yes, I like this zone of interest here for a potential hourly lower high compared to 84.58. If bull bears can show up tomorrow, defend that low of 84.58, break to lower lows under 79.21, then the daily downtrend will continue and we will be scouting that weekly higher low. You can see today it just got the bounce started right on hourly oversold. It's exactly how we like to do it. I think that covers JKS. So that's what I was talking about, right? Like I think I actually moved this, but I think I moved this down for the 5-minute oversold conditions. I see. That was for earlier here. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not a lot of space to have chopped and stopped. Probably, actually, that's a lot of range, but not a lot of time to have if you got that fill and then protected a position. This is probably a full stop for me had I taken the JKS trade, but did not too many calls today. Let's see. This is what I was talking about though. Well, like I don't like looking for those hourly higher low plays when we are range bound, right? Very often I prefer to just bottom fish the range. And you know, if we had been more careful in that regard, then maybe that would have been a fine place to chop and stop. I don't know. Either way, those hourly higher low plays a lot more questionable when you are range bound, right? This is so much range. This is a ton of range that you would definitely expect an attempt at a higher low. There's probably one in after hours. Yet there was. But either way, whatever the case may be, didn't print and tested that shelf of support again. And actually, I think JKS had some dilution news, so that's definitely not helping. They have some dilution news. Either way, whenever we're range bound, ideally we'll just play those ranges. This was a bit of an eager trade looking for that hourly higher low on a day where the market was rather weak. Then you know the hourly higher low play becomes a lot more questionable. Although not a lot of signs of that on the open today, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, this would have been tricky because there was a big high volume response too. But after that new low of day, actually, that was a big red flag. Anyway. So what are we looking at for tomorrow? Tomorrow, any bounce follow through, we will be looking for an hourly lower high under 63.77. Just want to make sure we have 5-minute overbought conditions while looking for that trade. And it would be at that median line as well, the channel median line as well. So not a bad place. And we have all this previous chop here. Okay, so looking for an hourly lower high for shorts tomorrow. If you're looking for that daily play, just being patient here. Going to top fish the these tops here, the 76, the last weekly, I guess that would be. Yeah, the last weekly high here of 76.64. That's like the real patient short play. Run. Did not quite get into our zones of interest. Let's start with the daily time frame. Daily downtrend is now confirmed. Also very little follow through. We're watching this potential trend line to hold. It's also a shelf support, so a bit of a confluence zone over here. If we can get hourly oversold conditions into this area, I do think that's a very good zone of interest, and it looks just about right there, so just leave it like that. Looking for the short, I'd probably want to be a little bit more conservative, something like that. And if the bears come through tomorrow with some more downside, just remember we are just still looking for another weekly higher low, though this is not a terribly great look for the bulls. Let's see here. How much bounce follow through do they get? Nice rejection from the golden to the short side. So not a great look for bulls whenever you reject from the golden like that. And I believe we have lost our golden support from this pivot. Nope, we are just hanging out on it right now. So it's not a bad play. I think you, at the very least, you'll have enough support there that you can, at least position for a potential chop and stop. Zone of interest, yes, sir. Could be looking at this too. So we can adjust this based on the trend line as well to be a bit more aggressive with the resistance to top fishing play. Oops. FSLR finally meandered for so long, potentially, threatening to test the channel. Finally today tested the channel, and the highest close of this chop range here, 85.37, bounced right off of it. Bit too conservative, although I suppose you could have caught that if you were adjusting this trade live. Like that, right? Because you want to just start when you're oversold, so you just got that one fill, potentially gave you some room to chop for, a little bit of cushion if you wanted to swing, or maybe if you just took it as a day trade, whatever. So on the daily time frame, daily trend change is now confirmed. We are looking for a weekly higher low. Anything over 79.05 will be one, but it's not a lot of range for the bulls to set it. So the bulls will just take a defense and a tightening range, potentially setting up a weekly EQ here. All right, moving on to NEE. So NEE was a nice trade today. Got that follow-up trade for this wedge break. Bulls are defending this shelf of support down here. If we zoom into the, any bounce follow through right now, we are just expecting a lower high under 75.57, though I prefer shorting the upper end of this range where all these rejections occurred. So let's just make sure that's still good. We can come down a little bit now. I would say look for something like that perhaps. And let's see. Looking for this hourly higher low play today on the back test of the wedge resistance line mentioned as well, and it's also a back test of the support, so that played out pretty well. 3 fills and plenty of space to chop. Plenty of space to chop those 3 fills if you wanted to, and then hold some for a potential swing. That being said, you don't really want to see an hourly trend change like that and then dump so much. So a bit questionable, right? So now we can be watching this channel. I guess we could closes. I'd rather. So the potential of a flag is here now, right? We just, well, I guess it's not really a flag, but these weak bounces, we're just going to be mindful of bounces, higher highs with very minimal follow through, okay? Especially if you reloaded today. So that's the short play that I like. I don't love any long plays from here just because that bulls didn't see a lot of bounce follow through on that. I wouldn't get cute here. I would not get too cute here with longs. Just, especially if you've already positioned. We had 2 opportunities now to position, or was that 3? I believe 2 or 3 trades in succession that worked out pretty well. So I wouldn't get too cute here. If you chop and stop each one of those now, you should have a pretty good size and it should be protected. So just a little wait and see. Market's in a questionable spot, and yeah, it's not really the kind of bounce you want to see after a wedge break and whatnot. Okay. All right, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.